Okay, I think we are recording now. So, closing a sale in a world that does not want to be closed by us. They don't want to be sold. I've often talked to the team and different ones about, as we talked about closing and the fact that, people don't want to be sold. And that is so true. And so they'll just continue scrolling when they see our post. And that is one of the reasons that curiosity is so important, because our goal is to attract them to us, to draw them to us, so we can get them into we call it getting them on our turf, in our results room or wherever it is, where we can, if they don't purchase now, so that they're there to kind of marinate and, look around over time, because sometimes it is much later down the road before they actually come around or maybe see another post and get interested again. So our goal is never to sell anything on our page. We're not looking to sell on our stories or our Facebook pages, whatever social media platform you are using. We're not looking to sell there. Our goal is to attract them to us. We want to gain their attention so that then we can connect them to our group there, our page, to share more detail, more information and such. So you all know, I think you all know a lot about gaining their interest, getting them to you, getting them in your group and such. I think most of you are really good at that. A lot of times I do, in case we got some new people that are listening in, I do have some that kind of misunderstand curiosity sometimes, and we'll give them scripts and stuff, and we'll talk about how to just gain interest, be intriguing, and then they'll end it with something like, message me for a $10 off coupon, or message me for more information. Well, you just took your curiosity post and turned it into a sales pitch when we do that. So it is really important to just be real. People, when they're scrolling, you think about yourself, when you're scrolling on your phone, you'll stop with something that intrigues you. But if someone appears to be selling something, we make a lot of assumptions and we just keep scrolling. So we want to be intriguing. Our main page, we want to be real, share quite a bit of life on there. People want to know what you're doing for dinner. They want to know what your kids are doing. People are looking to see what you're doing with your life, and we have to give them 90% of what they want and 10% of what we want. I love how we now have stories, so that we can share in our stories more about product and such, and intriguing posts about that, and use our news feed for a lot of life, just a lot of what our people watching us really want. So getting their attention, of course, is the first thing that we're doing. If then connecting. And a lot of times we just freeze up when it's time to connect. Like, okay, I got them. Now what do I do with them? Looking for direction. If you're going to your inbox and you're dropping your link and you're just simply saying, here's the link, let me know if I can help you, you are leaving so much on the table, because you see, they don't know what they want. You had a picture maybe of a before and after, or they've seen some photos of before and afters, and they're intrigued, they're interested, but they really don't know what do they do next. I mean, they don't know these products. They don't know the packages. They don't know what they need. And so many times that, people will post a before and after photo. And then when people are intrigued and begin asking what they're using, they'll run over to their upline's messenger or whatever and say, what was they using in this picture? It really doesn't matter, because you see, your whole purpose is to gain their interest. You want to get them, as we say here, on your turf, okay? At that point, you're going to do the sharing. It's up to you what you guide them to. If it was a before and after for weight loss, or if it was a tablespoon of trim, if it was a tablespoon of the new peach flavor coming out, you're going to take them where you want them to go. And you don't want them to go to just a bottle of trim. You want them to see the lean body sculpting system. You're going to share with them. I like to, this right here that you see on the screen is what I like to share to an inbox first. I like to get them in my in my community, tag them in a before and after photo, and then I'm going over to Messenger to talk the details. And I'm going to drop this picture that you see that explains the benefits of trim on one side, the benefits of burn on the other. Now, what you see on the other side of this photo is me, what I type. I have this in my notes. You got to have notes. If you don't have notes, then you're going to really stress yourself out trying to figure out how to type. It's time consuming to type this every time. So most all of us have some sort of notes advantage on our phones, no matter what kind of phone you use. So you're going to use your cell phone notes to put these in. Like I go to my notes and I look up LBS. And I'm going to have right there, I'm able to copy and paste every little section that I'm going to be sending next. So I'm going to send this photo, even if it was a tablespoon of trim. I'm going right here to this because I know that this collection of 3 is their best value. So I'm going to then tell them a little bit about it. Notice here, it tells them that it's 3 tablespoons a day. I'm giving them those enough details without going into too much information. After I've shared these, I'm ending with a question. And ending with a question is everything you say needs to end in a question because, again, you're the one doing the guiding. You're guiding them to where you want them to go. If you're asking them how I can help you, or let me know what you, or take a look at my website and see what you might want. They don't know. You are the expert. You say, well, no, I've only been here a week. You're the expert because you see, you know more than they do. You know where to find the answers, and you have an upline that's just going to shadow you through it to guide them to those answers if you don't know those answers. So we're going to guide you there because you are the expert and you're going to guide them where you want them to go. And ending in those questions is part of that guidance, taking them to that next step where you want them to go. So when I share a tablespoon, or if I share a before and after photo, or if I share the whole lean body info about it, it's maybe a few capsules in my hand and a spoon. No matter which one I'm sharing, when I gain their attention, this is where I'm starting. I'm going to share lean body. And so then after I've ended with this question, if I can show you, I don't know if the photos are in front of that on y'all's or not, but when I end with, if I can show you some really great savings for experiencing this, does it sound doable? Does it sound doable? I'm ending with a question. So there, at that point in time, y'all know how it is. They're either going to have a question like, I'm diabetic, or does this affect my blood pressure? Or they're going to say, how much? Usually you're going to get one of those responses. But if I leave that question off and I just give them the details even of the product, and I don't ask a question that leads them where I want them to go, I'm going to get what we call crickets. I may not hear from them. So I'm going to end with, if I can show you a really great savings for experiencing this, does it sound doable? If they were to tell me that, oh, well, I've tried everything, then I'm going to go and I'm going to share them, maybe my own before and after photos, or I'm going to share a friend's before and after photos. I'm going to drop it right there in the inbox. I'm going to keep them engaged and on the thought process that I want them to stay on. But with this question, I'll tell you the majority of the time, my next response from them is how much. So I'm going to tell them how much. I'm going to give them a couple options. I'm going to show them trim alone because I don't want to scare them off by I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to push everything on them when they only wanted trim. This is especially important if I'm just sharing the tablespoon and then now I'm sharing all of this with them. So I want them to know that if that's all you want, that's okay. People do start there, but look at the value in adding all 3. Not only can I show you value in savings, but I'm showing you value in the results that you're going to get because each of these have a different purpose. Now, once I've shared this, I'm going to wait a few seconds. I'm not going to wait 30 minutes or an hour. I'm not going to wait, and I'm not going to send it right immediately after. you just got to kind of flow with it and learn to, not to push too quick, but not to wait too long. It's a feeling you just kind of have to learn to adjust there, because you don't want them going on, forgetting about it, losing their excitement, but you don't want them to feel pushed either. So here, after I've dropped this, if they're not responding back to me pretty quickly, my next response is going to be, and again, depends on what I'm sharing and depends on what they've said. But most of the time, it's going to be, can I tell you what I need to get this on its way? Another thing you can say is, notice these right here. I like to send the name of each, and beside it, I see that the little emojis didn't go on my photo there. It's a mango, it's a chocolate. Y'all seen the little emojis, and each of those are beside it. And it gives a little description of the flavors. And I'll ask them, which one of these do you think you would like to start with? Because that is a closing question. And I just noticed here, y'all, this photo here is when we had an additional bonus of $10 off. And actually, I think we're going to have that with the peach. So that would work. I like to use visuals. If you're not making your own visuals, I can't tell you how important it would be for you to take some schooling with the Canva training that is in the Legacy page. Because making your own visuals like this as you're working with someone, when I'm talking to someone visual made, which usually I do, I go right over to my photo albums. But if I do not already have a visual made, I'm going to go over to my either Canva or PicMonkey. I use PicMonkey also. And I am quickly adding to a Modere cart on like a dummy account, figuring up, especially if they start talking gut health, that I'm adding something else to it. And I'm putting a visual together of what that customer or prospect and I are discussing. I'm going to put it together so I can put in front of them the value and what I can get it on its way for right now. Now, most of the time, it is pretty simple. It is that simple breakdown we talked about here. And can I tell you what I need to get this on? And then showing the flavors. What flavor would you like to start with? Now, once I get that answer, let's say I'm working with only a tablespoon photo that they've responded to. Well, then I'm not going to throw all of this up here with shakes and optimize and all of this. This particular visual is one I put together because the customer started asking about other things and we started adding to it. That was that customer. But usually it's pretty simple. It's a tablespoon. So I'm going to upsell with the lean body system, but I'm not stopping there. There. When I ask them, can I tell you what I need to get it on its way? What flavor would you like to start with? When they've given me the yeses on that, my next response is going to be, this is what I need. I actually think I put that on we'll talk about that in a minute, but let me go here. And I'm sure most all of you have this. Oh, it's not on this one. I thought I saved it. I think most of us have a visual that we drop into the inbox or a copy and paste that you can put in, or you should have in your notes, where you can just copy and paste what you need to get their order in. Because that question there's going to be, can I tell you what I need to get this on its way? Or would you prefer the direct savings link? The verbiage is important. Would you prefer the direct savings link? So one or the other. A lot of times they'll tell me, I can tell you what you need. Or what do you need? They'll say, what do you need? Well, then I'm going to send them what I need. I need their name as it is on their card. I need their shipping and billing address, their email, their phone number. I tell them exactly what I need in that list, and they send it to me. Once they've done that, then I'm going to say, would you like to add card blockers for just an extra $22? 90% of the time they say, yeah, sure. If they've talked to me about their skin or about tightening a skin and such, then I'm going to add body firming foam up on their order and I'm going to see how much more it would be to add carb blocker and body firming foam, because that would be 5 items. That triggers 10% savings. And I'm going to tell them ever how much that would be. Let's say that it would be 40, 50, let's say it would be 60. I really have no idea. Y'all can't remember. But if it was 60 more, then I'm going to say, would you like to add body firming foam and carb blockers for an extra 59? I'm not saying 60. If it's 60, I'm saying 59. Okay. And so, but when I go to put their order in, I love to put their order in myself, because I know that I can add, if they wanted, if they told me yes to adding the carb blocker, then I'm going to add a hand wash and a carb blocker, because it's going to be free. It's not going to cost them anything. And then after I have that done for them, I'm going to tell them, I was able to get you a free product along with this and trigger 10% savings. You see, you are the one in control. You are the expert. You are the one doing the guiding. You're taking them where you want them to go. You are serving them. You are assisting your customer. A lot of times people have told me, they'll say, well, I couldn't add that. I couldn't add the hand wash because they didn't want hand wash, you're serving your customer. It's the best option for them. You're going to add it because it's free. And then you're going to tell them you got them a free hand wash included because it triggered 10% savings. You're serving your customer. They don't understand the website. They don't understand the savings. You do. This is what you do for your customers. So all of these visuals here are just, I just chose a few of them that I have made over time. I've got hundreds that I've done and saved over time. Of course, it's always great to use our household products and give them that extra 15% savings and free shipping. Always good to add those. 9 times out of 10. See, that's one thing that I love about our products. So many companies out there about weight loss. So many companies, that's everybody's focus. And we know that that's how we get people's attention, because that's what people want. I've always said you can have a bottle over here and you say, this right here, take 2 a day and it will lengthen the span of your life by 20 years. Now this one over here, take 2 a day and it will help you lose 20 pounds in the next couple of months. They're going to grab the weight loss every time. They just want to look good in their casket. Okay. That's people. People are vain. That's people. So that's the reason that we run with a tablespoon a day. That's the reason we run with Lean Body. But the beauty in it is everyone out in the world today is dealing with cheap products, low quality. The integrity is not that great. They are third-party manufactured. These companies slap their name on it and call it theirs. And the company that is making that product, the bottom line to them is how much they're making on that contract. So the integrity of those ingredients are not that high on their list. That's not who we are. Our company, the integrity of every ingredient is important. The quality of what we have is important. So when we run with that tablespoon a day, that's what they're wanting, and we're giving them what they want. Now we have the opportunity to share with them so much more. And by the time, if we do our job right, by the time they have experienced 30 days of the product, they've learned that chemical and toxic conscious ingredients in their laundry detergent is a huge plus. I've had times when, I would even say that somebody may have even lost weight easier. Maybe it helped their situations with thyroid or whatever. We don't know those details, but it wouldn't surprise me at all that simply more conscious decisions of what's going on their skin. Everything that touches your skin goes to your bloodstream. A lot of times we're fighting things by putting a Band-Aid on it and focusing here, while really the problem is all around us and we don't even realize it is a problem. So when we start really paying attention to the dish soaps that we're using, the chemicals and things that are around us, and we're paying more attention to those things, other things can improve as well, and we have better results with other things. So I love that we have the opportunity to begin sharing so much more than where we started with a tablespoon of delicious chocolate body composition. We have so much more opportunity ahead of us from that. The visuals are important. Ending with these questions are important. This one over here is a little to the extreme. It says lean body alone, 149, or additional 5 items for the 164. The point of that is when you're talking about other things and someone's interested in other products, then whatever you're talking about, when you've made your visual, it gives you another closing question. I ask these closing questions over and over because if they don't give me the answer I want, I'm leading up to another question. If they didn't tell me when I said, what flavor would you like to start with? They might say, I like chocolate, but how much is shipping? And so now I know that I'm going to be asking another question here shortly because they just detoured me. They just took me to another area. So I'm going to answer the question and then I'm going to another closing question, such as with this one. With this one here, if we're talking these two, and we started out maybe talking about losing weight. So we're talking lean body, but they got to talking to me about collagen and they got to talking about optimizing liver health. Maybe they have thyroid concerns. Do you know when someone is dealing with thyroid concerns, I'm going to share liver health with them because I know that the T3 hormone must turn into the T4 hormone to boost the metabolism. That means it's got to go through the liver. And if the liver's fatty and the liver needs detox, that T3 hormone can't turn into T4 hormone and boost the metabolism. And so I know the importance of liver health. I've learned this as I've worked with my customers. So I'm sharing the liver health with that customer. So at that point, another closing question is going to be, okay, listen, are we going to go with the lean body for 149 or would you like to add those additional 5 items for 164? Now, again, usually you might not would have something with such an extreme of, a whole 164 more. Maybe it's just, or would you like to add carb blockers for that other 22 that we talked about? So you're going back to closing questions. These are always closing questions and you might repeat them sometimes. Can I tell you what I need to get this on its way? Or do you want that direct savings link? I may say it a little different. I may change my verbiage a little bit, but I'm asking the question again. I'm going to ask the questions until I get the answers that I want or they tell me no. Okay. And if they tell me no, I'm going to say, I know how much you're wanting to experience this. I know how good it feels. You see? Remember how they feel. Talk about how they feel right now and how they want to feel. You need to remind them. I know how it feels to be where you are. I've been there. Have you seen this photo? Oh, she has done so well. And I'm going to drop the photo. And then I'm going to say, I tell you what, I know you're wanting to think about this a little bit. So you mentioned, now I'm not going to say that right too quick. It's going to be a lot of questions before I say that. But if it comes down to it, then I'm going to say, tell me this. Can I get back with you here like Friday or Monday? Which do you think will be best for us to talk about this again? And see what they say. You never know. They may say, I'll tell you what, get back with me Friday. Then I can put them in my reminder in my book and I can get back with them Friday. If they don't give me any answer like that, then I'm going to have them on a list for me to be dropping a tag on some before and afters in the group because now you see they're in my group because that is the very first thing that I did. Now back to getting their interest. I've had people tell me, I don't add them to the group yet because they don't want to be in groups. And I'm like, how do you know that? I've been doing this for 7 years and I've never asked anyone if they wanted to be in a group because people have group phobia. Nobody wants to be in a group. I don't even want to be in a group. It's group phobia. It's the verbiage. I don't like it. Nobody likes it, but it ain't even a thing. I can turn the notifications off, but people will tell you, I don't want to be in a group. So when they show interest, you see, when they show interest on my spoon post or wherever it may be, they just told me they want information. Well, I know where the information is. It's in the group. So I'm putting them there. And then I'm going to message them. I'm so excited to share this with you. There's a photo I can't wait for you to see. You got to get some anticipation there so they want to accept your invite. Okay. I can't wait to share that with you. Look at your notifications and accept that invite. It's called in whatever your group is called, and they're going to accept it. Then you can tag them and say things. on your turf because you don't know how this is going to go. And if they don't take it right now, then now they're in there with you and they're going to see it. We've had people message 2-3 years later, still there marinating in the page, and the right time is, the timing is right, and they see the right photos and they reach out to you. Okay, let's see what I have on this next one here. This one right here is about skincare. Y'all, I love it when we share the before and after photos of what our collagen does. And again, people will message and they'll go, what was she using? It doesn't matter what she was using. You're sharing inside out. It doesn't matter if all she was using was moisturizer. Most of the time we aren't going to know that, and usually that's not the case. But we're going to share the inside out. I'm going to ask them, tell me this. I know that you're wanting the results that you've seen that Kathy was having, that before and after photo, and I'm going to make sure I get you that info, but do you have any interest in body composition while we're talking about this? If they do, I'm going to share with them inside out and show them how they can add trim with it. Okay. This is a visual that gives them a breakdown from the smallest on up to the most, and even adding on the body firming foam. And then with that, I'm typing out the breakdown so they can see it. People need to see that visual of that savings. Some people work better with the pictures. Some people work better with the typed out information. So you're going to want to share both of that with them. I love our trim. It's like a treat every day. I love the chocolate. I love all of them. Coconut lime is probably my favorite. Lemon is my husband's favorite. It's my least favorite. Chocolate is is one that I love when I'm wanting something chocolate tasting. I love them. Really, I love them all. But coconut lime has been my favorite until we had mango. Now I love mango. Mango's what I'm using right now. I can only imagine. And I remember tasting peach at a conference one time. So I know that it is really good. Let me grab a drink. My lifeline right here. Love this stuff. Fights that fogginess, that mental clarity. Love it. But peach is coming. So if you're doing the peach, if you are showing the little pictures on your stories and such with the gold spoon, make sure that all of your customers are hearing from you. If they don't hear from you, they could even hear from somebody else. You never know. So make sure they're hearing from you. Make sure you're communicating with your customers. Make sure that you're posting. If you're not using Project Broadcast, this is a message that we were using with Project Broadcast, sending out a text to all of our customers, but using it in Messenger, whatever platform you're using to stay in touch with your customers. This is a great message to send them, and go ahead and start taking pre-orders. You can let them know, hey, I can get you on the list. And it doesn't matter whether or not you're actually placing that order or not. You're going to let them know, hey, I'm giving you this privilege of getting on my list. You're on my customer list, and start taking every bit of the information for you to put those orders in on the 16th. You can have tons of orders going in because people will procrastinate. People will reach out, they'll be excited about it, and then who knows, they have a flat tire on their car, and so now they think they can't afford it. Who knows what may happen? So you want to take their information, and it's as good as done when you communicate while they're excited. Get those orders, get them in, and build that list between now and the 16th. Today's the 14th. You have a couple of days, and that is so exciting to start putting in those orders. And in the meantime, you could also be reaching out to your current customers to make sure that they can, in case they have an order going in, if they have a smart ship, you want them to know that peach is coming so that they can change it out for the peach flavor by going to their cart, checking out with smart ship through their cart to get the peach flavor on the 16th. I know I spit out a lot of information, but basically, in a nutshell, y'all, is you are the expert. You're the one in control, and you lead these people where you want them to go. Once someone is brought to you, once you have drawn them to you using the curiosity. And remember, curiosity is being real, being excited. The things that you would stop on a newsfeed and look at don't look like an ad, don't look like a sales pitch, don't end with message me, I have a $10 off coupon. These are sales pitch sounding verbiages. You want to be real. You want them intrigued enough to reach out to you. Get the interest, and then you are the expert. You are the guide. Guide them where you want them to go. I hope it's been helpful to you. It was pretty simple. And I know that I'm talking to a GoPro group, the GoPro mentoring. And so I'm really talking to the experts. I know that. But if I could use, if any of this information was something that you could share with your people, maybe with your new marketers and such, people really struggle in these areas of how do I close it, especially like we said, in a world that doesn't want to be sold. Nobody wants to be sold anymore. And that is another reason we use curiosity. That is another reason we draw them to us. We could reach out to a bunch of people and say, hey, would you be interested? But when we do that, we remove their opportunity for it to be their idea. And people want it to be their idea. And so when they say, what is it? Now it's their idea. And you get to connect them. And you get to then share the details and guide them where you want them to go. I hope you all have an amazing peach flavor launch, and you just kill it. Get out there and just make it happen, because there are people who have no idea what we have, and they don't know that they want or need what we have until you let them know. So if you're quiet about it, I promise you somebody's going to let them know. It may as well be you. Thank you all for joining me.
Thank you, Monica.
I'm going to have just as much trouble turning it off as I had turning it on.
Thank